For the past month or so, maybe a little bit longer, I've been recommending the Canon R50v to practically anybody that's willing to hear me out. I still believe that it's probably one of the best cameras that you can get for the price. The body only is about $650 bucks without a lens, which is how I recommend everybody pick this camera up. Any camera really for that matter, just avoid the kit lens altogether. One of the major flaws of this camera, in my opinion, is its size. Now I know that some people might say that that's actually a benefit, but when you put it into practical use and you use it on a daily basis, the camera itself is incredibly small, almost to a fault. Meaning that without a cage, the camera was very, very hard to handle. And another issue that was going on is that when I would hold this camera, I was smashing all of the buttons on this dial, including rotating the dial itself, because when you're shooting, you want to have a firm grip of the equipment that you're using so you can get as stable a shot as possible. So SmallRig really messed up, in my opinion, not having a camera cage available for this camera at launch. I did know, and I did come across a landing page on SmallRig saying that the cage was going to be coming out shortly, about 2 to 3 weeks. Well, those 2 to 3 weeks ended up being like a month and a half. I did pre-order it as soon as I bought the camera, and it took about a month and a half to actually arrive. I had to pre-order it. But now that I have it, I can tell you with great confidence that with this camera cage, I now have absolute confidence that I can hold on to the camera without really needing to rely on holding a lot of putting a lot of pressure on the rotary dial on the back. The issue was that because this well is so shallow without the cage, that it was very, very tough to grip and to hold in any way that you wanted it to. It was very, very difficult, and it also was causing me to get cramps in my hand, just because of the nature of the size of the camera itself. Now, I'm just an average sized guy, 5'8", with normal sized hands, so I can imagine that anybody larger than me with larger hands or a larger palm width would struggle even more. The other issue that when holding it, my pinky was floating, which if you know about handling cameras, when your pinky is floating, it's really, really tough to get a secure grip. But this, as you can see, really helps to keep all of my fingers and hands, my entire hand and entire palm of my hand on the camera body itself. In addition to that, this SmallRig Cage, as you know, has tons and tons of mounting positions, a lot of threaded holes on it, as you would expect, right? So the camera itself, the Canon R50v, does come with one side hole, and everybody was like, going crazy about, oh my God, this is so unique. A threaded hole on the side of the camera was the bee's knees. But in reality, that's not something I was really too excited about. I need mounting holes out throughout the entirety of the camera. And it's not something that I just do with the Canon R50v. Every camera that I have and that I own has a cage because I typically rig it out to the max. So without that, I was having to mount a monitor via the hot shoe mount. And that's another point where I really don't want to do that, because a monitor that moves around, and if you're using it in the field, holding or mounting something onto the hot shoe mount could lead to potentially damaging not just the pins in there, but also bending the frame where the hot shoe is right here. And I don't want to do that because those are all incredibly expensive repairs. So imagine on not just this camera, but even on a more expensive camera, we'll just use this as an example, but this is a $700 camera and the monitor I was using is $150. If I use it all of the time and I'm picking it up, putting it down, moving it, bumping it, just regular handling, over time that $150 monitor would cause well over $200 to $300 worth of repair I'm guesstimating there in getting that fixed, because having it sent out and all of that stuff. So this really solves that big problem that I was really having with having it to be so small, and I have all of these other mounting options. So like I said, SmallRig finally came out. It is available in black as well as silver. I decided to go with the silver one because I think it looks a little bit neater, and all of my other camera cages come in black, so I thought that this would be a something nice that would stick out. Interesting tidbit, I actually own 2 of these cameras. My other one, I use it as a webcam, and I am probably going to pick up the black version of the cage just because I need it to mount more stuff on here. Like on this side, what I like to mount is, this uses a micro HDMI input to full HDMI, of course, to get into the monitor, and I like to use a SmallRig. I don't even know if I have one here, but it essentially converts the full HDMI to a small HDMI, so micro HDMI, so that it connects directly into the camera itself. And now I secure that little attachment via these holes right here. So I'm definitely going to be picking up the black one, and that'll be coming in the mail here soon. But this silver one is still incredibly nice. I think this whole thing retails for under 60 to 70 bucks. So it's a must-have if you have the Canon R50v. And for the people that are still concerned about making it a lot, because some camera cages really add a lot of bulk to the camera, this one doesn't. The camera is already so small that adding the cage just adds the perfect amount of weight and balance and also grip. So it's a must-have in my opinion if you have the Canon R50v. I did leave 2 links down in the description below at the very top so that you can check out the current prices of them and make a decision for yourself. Overall, I highly recommend it. And if you're curious to know about my favorite lenses to use with my Canon R cameras, you're going to want to check out this video right here. See ya.